Hello everyone, my name is Gabriel and today's topic we are taking complex numbers. What is a complex number? A complex number is a number in the form of a plus bi, where a and b are real numbers. Complex numbers can also be real numbers with imaginary numbers, where the imaginary number is I. So let me explain it further. Let's say s squared plus 1 is equals to 0, and s squared is equal to minus 1. And now we say s is equal to the square root of minus 1, and we know that the square root of minus 1 is not actually possible, but the square root of 1 is 1. So the square root of minus 1 is not possible, or else we add an imaginary number. And also the square root of minus 1 is not a real number. So we say, since the square root of minus 1 is not a real number, we use an imaginary number I. We add a imaginary number, so we will say x is also equal to I. And now I is equal to the square root of minus 1, as we have said earlier. Since x is equal to I is equal to the square root of minus 1. Now what if we said I square? I square is equal to, into brackets, the square root of minus 1 square, which is, square is going to cancel the square root, so it's going to be equal to minus 1. Let's say I raised to power 3. I raised to power 3 is equal to I raised to power 2 times I. And since I raised to power 2 is minus 1, and I is I, we multiply it and we get minus I. So I raised to power 4 is equal to I raised to power 2 times I raised to power 2. I raised to power 2 is minus 1 times minus 1, which is equal to 1. Now let's say I raised to power 5. I raised to power 5 is equal to I raised to power 4 times I, which is equal to 1 times I, which is equal to I. Let's say I raised to power 7. I raised to power 7 should be I raised to power 4 times I raised to power 3. So I raised to power 4 is 1, as we have said before, and I raised to power 3 is minus I. So the result is equal to minus I. So let's try a bigger power. I raised to power 59. I raised to power 59 is equals to I raised to power 4 times 14 times I raised to power 3. I believe you understand why I broke it like that. I made it 4 times 14 so that I will still get that I raised to power 4 back. I raised to power 4 is the same thing as 1, and 1 raised to power 14 is 1. I raised to power 3 is minus I. So it should be I raised to power 59 now is equal to 1 times minus I. So I raised to power 59 is still equal to minus I. So let's express the solution of the equations in the form of a plus bi. Number 1, x squared plus 9 is equal to 0. Number 2, x squared plus 4x plus 40. Okay, so number 1, x squared plus 9 is equal to 0. Okay, so if we take 9 to the other side, x squared is equal to minus 9. And as I said before, the square root of a negative number is not possible, and it's not a real number. So in order to make it a real number, we introduce an imaginary number, which is I. And to introduce an imaginary number, we say x is equal to plus or minus square root of 9 times the square root of minus 1. And as I've said before, the square root of minus 1 is I. So the answer is going to be x is equal to 3i. Square root of 9 is 3 and square root of minus 1 is I. So it's 3i. Then number 2. X squared plus 4x plus 40 is equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation and we need to use a formula, a quadratic formula. As we all know, minus b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a is the best formula to use for this. And as we know, b is 4, a is 1 and c is 40. So let's include that. Minus 4 plus or minus square root 4 square minus 4 times 1 times 40 over 2 times 1. Okay, so the result should be minus 4 plus or minus square root of minus 144 divided by 2. We know the square root of minus 144 is not possible, but to make it possible, we introduce an imaginary number, making everything a complex number. So we introduce an imaginary number I, and I is equal to the square root of minus 1. So we say minus 4 plus or minus 12i over 2 is equal to minus 2 plus or minus 6i. So that's the final answer. So I believe you understand up to this level, and in the next video I will show you the manipulations of complex number and do some more explanations on complex number as well. Thank you for watching this video, and please feel free to like, share and subscribe. Make sure you click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell for new uploads. Thank you very much.